Big Rusty
Welcome
Tisleys.
back. What's up, Ned? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It is Thursday night. We're doing a little cooking in tonight. Got a chill weekend pre-Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
it's good. Kind of a low key level week here.
Oh, that's great. That's a good way to start things off. I mean, you know, I just got back from Burbank on a work trip, so I'm kind
Yeah.
of getting into the swing of things. This was my first week in a new office, so yeah, pretty excited to be here to be talking with
So
you
yeah, it's
about
the opposite
something other
opposite of
than
low
work.
key for you, man. Like you're
I know.
new job in it, coming off of time
It's
zone,
true.
probably a little bit of jet lag. Like,
Oh yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm definitely a little exhausted this week, but it was fun to watch Fionna and Cake and kind of disconnect from all of the new learning and instead a little bit of new learning of a new season of Fionna and Cake. So definitely a lot of I mean, this season just been constant like little lore drops and things. I can't think of many sequel series that are trying to tie things back to the original series quite as much
mhm.
as this has. I mean, this has been like every episode, there's multiple things that are just going to be like, okay, well, this kind of affects the way that I perceive the entire original series of Adventure Time. So that's cool. And so it's fun. It's a little overwhelming, but it's fun. It's good.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
say for this episode specifically, it's getting into dynamics, not just of adventure, like tying back to so many things in the original show, but it's tying back to things in season one as well. So I'm like, oh, I'm super sharp on Adventure Time lore. I'm definitely not as sharp on season one deep cuts, like all of the little details that lasted. Like this episode specifically, we're getting Prismo back, which again, I mean,
yeah.
just freaking lovely of the episode. Let's just go ahead
Give,
and
give me some sugar, baby.
Prismo is always my
That's
lovely,
fair.
and we got the OG voice actor back with uh
Kumail
Kumail
Nanjiani. Yeah.
Nanjiani.
How
Yeah.
great.
And I was like, I still wish we had the original Cosmic Owl voice back because they nailed down his voice in the last few seasons of
Did
Adventure Time.
he
But
did he pass away? I want to say the original voice actor might have passed away, so
oh,
that's
okay.
just not gonna
I
happen.
was unaware. Okay,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
canceled immediately here. But
No, it's all good. I mean, that's
yeah,
just something I saw, so yeah, I would have to double check, but that's my
yeah, which
understanding.
I'm glad he was because apparently there's all that stuff about season one where it was like, oh yeah, he didn't want to do the show, and he like went on
Or
Twitter and
Kumail,
was like,
yeah.
I never was asked to do the show, but I would totally do it. So
Oh yeah, of
really
course.
glad to see he was back here.
Yeah, he's incredible, and his voice definitely brings a lot to the character. I mean, I wasn't too distracted or whatever, but it's refreshing. I mean, he just has an iconic tone to how he talks, so it's great to
Yeah,
have a really good voice actor in there. Not to say that the last voice actor didn't do a good job as well, but
yeah,
it's hard to beat the original sometimes. Especially when you're used to it as for the fans and all that. So I was
yeah.
excited about that as well. And Ned, to be honest, if you were to come to me and be like, "Hey, man, I got a lot of land in a major city that I'll sell you for $50,000," I'd probably do that in a heartbeat. I mean, like,
Mm.
I'll find the money. Maybe a fundraiser. I'm not sure. They started out, that was like the mission of this episode. And then I feel like we kind of forgot that that's what we were doing. And all of a sudden, we're doing so much more with Fiona. And obviously, it's like more relationship driven as opposed to like guilt with Gary with trying to get the plot of land back so we could have the sweet spot and all that.
Yeah, well, I think the plot of land stuff that's going on in Fiona World right now is essentially it's adventure time. This is their adventure in a world with no magic and except for Cake, probably Cake, Baby World Fin, and Pep Tank are the
Mhm.
only kind of magic things. Or and I guess oh, what was his name? The Flame guy, Flame Demon. Oh, there's not a magic world, so this is an adventure in the real world. Like
Right.
buying property and starting businesses. That is real world adventure, as opposed to a land of crazy, magical creatures and candies and hot dogs with creepily long tongues. Like,
Oh yeah.
um, so that
It
that
just
was
it
kind of
just
like
felt like the plot was all over the place, I guess is what I'm kind of saying.
yeah,
But
but
it's not wanting
time
us to forget about the plot of land. Clearly, that's still
time
important. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, well, and I think that that's again like they've chosen to have this normal world that Fiona was like, I like my normal life. I like this non-magic world that I've built and live in with my friends too. So we're not going to have this, magical adventure crazy world. And so I like the fact that they're juxtaposing the land of Ooh and what's going on there to the real world stuff. And we're like, oh, it's too much going on. But it's really like
Right.
they're having their own adventures and there's multiversal crossovers happening with Huntress Wizard right now too. But
So
yeah, I
that's
like it.
interesting. All of this really makes me think about what Scarab had said, where Scarab is, and this was justified. Huntress being in Fiona and Cake's world is wrong. I can't remember the terminology that it uses. Like that shouldn't be the case, and we need to stop this. And of course, yeah, Prismo going, well, no, actually, this is beyond us. And even him and the Cosmic Owl don't explain what it is. They're just like, well, here's the roots. The roots connect everything, and that's connected to what happened to Huntress Wizard. So it's not our problem, and it's allowed to be. But what we're overlooking is technically Baby Finn and Pep Tank and
Yeah,
like
like
all of them are from other
they're from other
universes.
universes. They had the crossover events. Like
Right.
their worlds didn't get destroyed, to my knowledge.
Is it because they were in it must be because they were in the world while it was not within the connection of the multiverse, and then when it got connected, that's like they were already there in that moment of it becoming connected, maybe? And so that's why it wasn't like I don't know.
Potentially, yeah. Like everybody
That's
that was there once that they were like, okay, this universe is a square one now. Like
right,
whoever's here is here. We won't call it meddling. Well, like which is why again, like I'm gonna keep forgetting his name, the Demon Fire Lord, whatever.
right.
From last episode,
Cairo
Baby Dwarf
Siphon,
Finn.
yes.
Yeah, Kyro Siphon.
Right, and then also, Bid Destiny's kid and Farmville Finn's kid are there as well somewhere, like, we haven't
Well,
seen them in a
we're
minute,
gonna see because that's kind of how this episode ends. Is Big
right, with
Destiny's
Peanut.
kid, Peanut murdering him. So that's we're
Well,
bringing
that
that
was the
back
other
again as
kid,
another. Oh, that
the
was the
the
other
the
kid. That
younger
wasn't
brother, right? Because one of them fell in love with, the daughter fell in love with,
right. Right.
Finn's son, and they ran away, I believe, at the end of the first season to Fiona's world, right at the end
Okay.
as
Okay.
it became
Yeah.
canon, if I'm not
That's what those things
mistaken.
like the little details I'm now forgetting from season one of like that.
Yeah.
That was such a side plot, and now like that Big Destiny's dead. That's probably gonna play into
Gotta revisit it, man. We
there's a
gotta
lot
revisit
going
it.
on. And who knows, man? This could be a thing of their oh my gosh, now there's so much going on now,
Yeah,
but this could be, 10 minutes worth of screen time for the rest of the season to like
it's
wrap
true.
up this Big Destiny storyline, to wrap up this all the other kind of storylines. And you know what? It's kind of nice though, and I'll tie this back to why I'm liking the feel of this episode, even though it's kind of chaotic, is that the problem that's happening in Ooh right now, all the princesses like roll up to the castle gate. They're all like, he's dying, he needs a kiss. And like
Right.
it's kind of goofy and there's funny moments and PB's taking it seriously, and like, Finn is about to die. Flame Princess comes back. It feels very Adventure Time, which is like it's funny and there's LSP like one-liners and it's like
Mhm.
um,
You get the banana
P
guard getting stepped on. I love
the banana
seeing his
guards.
eyes shoot
What
out.
it, what? Yeah, he gets his eyes shot out. What does he call the limnus god end? I was like, is that what it's called? I was
Yeah,
like,
the
okay, this
Lemnis
is
kid
like
head, that's so good.
these are Adventure Time jokes. Like,
Okay.
and I think that they're making it's cool. Be like Fiona and Cake World is written very differently, even than Adventure Time, like Ooh World. And I was like, that's kind of a
Hmm.
nice thing that they're not just abandoning everything from the original series. Like
Right, there's,
PB
like,
still feels
certain
like
laws in
PB.
physics that, like, apply only to Fiona and Cake's world and
Hmm.
other ones that apply to the land of Ooo in a way. And maybe that
Exactly.
is that silliness, that humor. It's a really good point. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah. So that's what made it feel a little bit more calm to me, is that
Mhm.
this is happening in this universe and that's happening in that universe in this episode. And there's lots of crossover and things, lore you have to know to pick up everything, but everything may not be a rabbit hole you have to go down, or
Sure.
that we're going to be sent down, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, this is a third episode of like, let's wait and see what happens next. We're setting up a ton of things, as you were saying. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's not worth revisiting what's going on with I mean, obviously, Peanut's going to matter, or
Hmm.
Bid Destiny's death might matter in some way.
If
Um,
yeah, if he
Tops of
died,
the
I'm
episode.
assuming he died when Prisma's like,
Oh,
whoa, like
for sure.
insane croak,
Quote Dream.
like
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, that whole scene was the tops of the episode for me. It just not expected. I mean, it was definitely they were trying to make you think that Finn was about to die because they go quote Dream. Cosmic Owl is going out into it, and then they transition
Hmm.
immediately to Finn
I
in the like big diagnostic
Yeah.
equipment.
They allude to it being Finn, and then I
Right.
thought it for a second it was going to be the Huntress Wizard that because she kind of goes into her
She's close.
ethereal. She does.
Right.
I love again the reference back to she transfers to the astral plane,
Hmm.
which is the exact same backdrop as Finn, and then right from the astral plane she enters the Dream Warriors world, which is what Jake was in.
Right.
Um, During the who would win episode. So she's like Astral Beast world into the Dream Warrior world. And I was like, again, those are like super deep cut episodes. Like,
Yeah. Is there confusion between, and I think we had this confusion last episode and we kind of said they're the same thing. Spirit Warrior and Dream Warrior. Are those two different people?
yeah, I think Dream Warrior, I
Because they're
do think
different
is
color.
totally in your head, like totally in a dream world, which I
Right.
guess sits adjacent to or is in the astral plane. That
Hmm.
you have to be like straight dreaming, hardcore lucid dreaming to access Dream Warrior. I think that the was it Spirit Warrior is something in the forest, specifically like the spirit of the
One of
forest.
the Green Wizards. So,
No, I don't
but
think he's one of the Green Wizards. I think he is. It's a straight up spirit of the
oh,
forest. So I
and
don't
he was
think
just
that he
kind of there
sits.
hanging out with them and happens
Yeah,
to be
like
green.
I think, and again, I don't think he is a warrior defending, or not a warrior. He is a warrior.
Yeah,
He's not a
Spirit Warrior.
wizard defending the bush or
Okay.
specifically, or going to Wizard City. He's just like this kind of um, chaotic neutral being that's there. You know.
Right. And so we're saying that what she visited was the Dream Warrior. I think it's confusing because I want to say she even
Hmm.
addresses him as the Spirit Warrior, but it's like could be her confusion because all she knows of is the Spirit Warrior. Spirit Warrior. So I don't know. It's confusing. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, other than what he says to her is very similar to right the Dream Warrior from that episode with Finn and
Yeah.
Jake, where they went to battle the farm or whatever
Yeah,
that.
when they were battling the farm and
Um,
battling each other and then battle the farm. Yeah.
Right, and he says, "Follow the beat to the root." So maybe we should just stop there and go, "What do we think? What do we think this means? Like, what does?"
I've okay. Well, okay. You do your thoughts first. I've got a very. I think it's
Okay,
pretty obvious from other three or four other moments in this episode. I think are pretty obvious what's gonna tie in at this point.
okay.
But I want
I've
to hear your
got
thoughts first.
like three thoughts of what that could be. The first is simply like the root being the root of like herself, like explore her past, her origins, like the root of her story. The second could be the root of the problem, like let's go and figure out like go back to the bush, go back to the rose bush maybe, or um yeah, I mean I guess the third one's kind of just that, like go find the roots that are connected to the multiverse in order to get back to your dimension, something in that world. I think is kind of what they're
I'm
saying.
gonna go one level above that and just be
Please.
like the beats, or not even above, like less deep than that. I
Okay.
think it's gonna be because then it was we'll finish out the whole thing before I say mine because then it's just super
No, that's
easy
it,
to.
that's it, go ahead.
What does he say next? It was follow the beat to the root.
A broken
Um,
tool seeks the flame.
well, what was the middle thing he said too? Dang, I had it.
I don't know if there was a middle thing, was there?
There was one more thing he said about where was it in my notes? If I don't get it, regardless, there was one more thing he said. Oh, something being underground. That's what it
Okay.
was. He
Right.
says something
So
like the answer to something is you will find under the ground,
oh, I see what you're saying.
and
Yeah.
then it was like a broken tool seeks the flame. So I think it's follow the beat to the root. I think that it's going to be she gets into the world, she's going to hear music and be like, "Oh, that's a crazy beat." Huh? She's going to follow it down underground. I think that there's going to be a club called The Root,
Okay.
and that the broken hoe, like, I'm not going to go into like the, but the something that's
Oh my
broken
god.
seeks seeks the flame, and it's gonna be DJ Flame playing there.
Okay.
And I think that more than anything, before I like even put that together, I was like, okay, the episode kicks off with this old version, still Magic World Fiona, fighting off the Ice Queen, saves the Flame Prince, right?
Right.
I think that that's like the moment. Also, it blips and then it's done. I think that that was the moment their world lost the magic. Like she
Oh
had
yeah,
just
for
saved
sure.
the Flame Prince. That was the moment that their world lost the magic. So
No,
they opened
I'm.
up the episode with like, "Hey, Flame Prince is a big deal. Like,
Mhm.
was a big deal, is a big deal." Um, when they're at the club and Fiona is super sad because she sees Flame, so many names, DJ Flame
Yeah,
kissing
Felix.
Fennel.
Mhm.
Um, then she goes in the bathroom and she's like, she says, I know our souls are connected, and that's like
Mhm.
why it hurts so bad. And then Flame Princess back in Ooh does the like, I did really love you, you know, and then she bursts it off like, oh, I thought that would work, you know, but I'm seeing someone else right now.
Mhm.
There's too much going on with Flame Princess, with DJ Flame, where they're trying to put guard up, like, and yes, I think that that means it's something. We were going on the Huntress, Wizard, Hunter train last episode. I
Right.
think that now there's going to be some sort of hard decision that Fiona and possibly Finn are going to have to make simultaneously of like, do I pursue this like soul relationship? Because now Huntress Wizard, she might be like split across multiple universes. She may like, I don't know if Hunter is going to be a romantic. I think Hunter should be a romantic interest of Fiona,
Mhm.
but now it's leading me to believe that like that or the message is going to be like, hey, don't follow passion when there's not a good fit, you know, something like
Right.
that. I don't know, but it's going to be a hard decision to make, I feel like.
Oh my gosh, that you touched so many things. I feel like I
I
have.
Yeah.
I just went through like, okay, I respond to that. I don't know where I'm at. What I do
Yeah,
know
sorry, that
is
was like way too much to dump right there.
no, you're good. Because you just connected a bunch of different scenes all at once. And I think you have a good point. But I will say, in my opinion, I think we're. I mean, I did in the first episode kind of predict that DJ Flame was going to be a big part of this episode, just based off
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all the foreshadowing. But I think we're done with DJ Flame. I think this might be it for him, and I could be wrong. He might come back a little bit, but I really don't think he's a love interest anymore. I think we're moving on from DJ Flame, and I think he was important to this. This is like the episode where DJ
That was
Flame
like the
matters.
pinnacle ending
Yeah, and we had the
of,
point where he's like, he
yeah.
used her. He invites for some reason or for his own like ego, I guess, invites her to his own
Yeah,
show,
I was
and
gonna
then
say that was a
invites his girl up.
super shitty move to
Yeah,
like get all flirty with her while he was shirtless in the park and being like, "You can come into
right.
my show for free." And then as soon as he does like eye contact with her too. And
Hmm.
then he's like, "Oh, let me pull up my other girl."
Yeah,
And
I mean
I was like,
he is the sexy character of the episode, though. Like I'm not gonna. There's no soundbite for that you have, my boy.
"Lay it on me." I was gonna give you
Yeah,
that one.
I need to send that to you. The worst running joke. Yeah, man. I think it literally is just like he's there for a bit, but that scene was, it's just unfortunate. They ran into each other, and he was looking good, sweaty, whatever, and just got off a run. It was kind of being kind, but kind of being douchey, where he's like, my song's blowing up, and like I don't mind bragging about it, and it's just unfortunate that that's who he is, but I think that's just kind of who he is. And maybe even he invited her to the show because that's, he's kind of flirting, whatever. But then, like, the night of the show, either he knows what's going on, that she's there and he's doing this to get at her, or it's just like oh man, having a good time. I'm up on stage performing. There's my girl. Come up on stage.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if he's
I
that
don't know.
oblivious, it's two different versions of douchebag. It's like the
Right.
oblivious douchebag to other people's feelings, narcissistic style, or the wow, you're a douchebag because you actually like were trying to
Mm-hmm.
hurt or make her jealous or do one of these whole like playing games, playing emotional relationship games. That's kind of so either which way you are right. It could be a very like moment of like this is what she needed in order to like
Mm-hmm.
be willing to like jump into Hunter's arms like quite literally when she was drunk this episode.
Right, almost
Also,
did,
let
but
me have a, a moment here and apologize last week when I was like, the last
yeah,
episode when I was like, yeah, it just sounds like a lady, like a weird voice for Hunter, and it doesn't match. And
he's
me and you
trans.
talked about it offline too, but it's because it's Vico Ortiz who is a trans actor, and in this episode, uh, they show top surgery scars on
Right.
Hunter in this episode. So Hunter is trans, and I was like, oh shit, now I look like a total
Uh,
asshole from
oh
last
yeah.
episode, and it's
Out of
just
context, I'm
confirmed.
gonna clip that from last episode and just that's how we'll go
And
viral.
just be like, yeah, I need a bunch of people to cancel me before I realize that they actually were making this character trans in the show. And I was
Yeah,
like, well,
we didn't know. I mean,
now I
but
seem like a total douchebag. So
yeah, that's crazy. It was kind of
um
wild when I saw that. I was like, "Oh, that explains, I guess, the voice acting." But I
mhm,
was so I was not in the moment. The first two season or the first season and the first two episodes of this season, like, didn't think anything of it. Certainly, I had never looked at the voice actor, but a cool character twist. I wasn't expecting it. I do think it's like a little bit playing to the fans. I know the fandom of Adventure Time is a pretty progressive one, so I'm sure a lot of people really loved seeing that, and that's cool, man. So, uh, yeah, I don't know, very cool moment. I did want to go back to it's on the top of my head. The last thing that Spirit Warrior
mm,
said, a broken tool seeks the flame. I know you had your explanation kind of ties them both into one. You know, the two moments, the fall, the beat of the root, and then the broken tool seeks the flame. I think the broken tool seeks the flame could be it's either about Finn or Fiona. So I think it's either telling Huntress Wizard to go to Fiona, who is broken and sought after DJ Flame. So kind of like a more literal, like what you saw in this episode is what I'm telling her to do. And she's been around Fiona enough and hears she goes and cries, and that's where the tear drops onto Huntress Wizard. Like she is aware, Huntress Wizard is aware of what's going on in Fiona's life to a very intimate level because she's been spying on her, in a way.
mhm.
Um, or it's about Finn, and it's about taking Finn back to the heart of the forest. And I'm not gonna say because we're gonna sacrifice him to the heart of the forest, which was my theory last episode, though I do kind of think that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go
Man,
on with
I
that, but
just
that
think
would
that
be the other
season two
thing.
of the show would to kill off Finn in
Sure.
season two of the show would be quite bold.
Well, we don't
When
need to
you
to
have
rehash this.
side stories coming like that could come off of the show that would all involve adult Finn
I
and
know.
Hunter
We
Wizard.
don't need to rehash last episode, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I know.
taking Finn to the heart of the forest to heal him even could
Yeah,
be what that means. Like the broken tool to the flame being the thing that was
I
the
mean the
magic for
broken
the
tool.
green
Finn's
wizards.
broken. He's seeking the flame princess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
I
know.
feel like Huntress Wizard is getting teed up to have her heart broken because she's gonna play a
Flame Princess
bigger.
is out. Flame Princess is out of this, dude. She's got
I
a
no no
boy
no not
or
because like
a
Finn
bay.
chooses her. I don't know, but like
She's got a bay. She said it in the episode. She's dating someone else.
I think she's lying. I think she's trying to put up a front in front of these other princesses of like, no, like she
Oh.
exploded, Russell. She exploded out of like an emotional kiss.
And
To like,
it was them kind of going back to Burning Low, right? It was them
right,
saying
that
like, remember when Finn goes into the
saved
hole, they
her
kiss her to
life.
save her with a kiss.
hmm Which
Um,
I'm telling, that's the
yeah,
whole thing. It's going full circle
the
back on
cyclical.
the show.
Yeah, it's very
So
possible. I don't want to discredit that or count that out. I mean,
as
her
I
armor is
want
dumb.
Finn. I want Finn. Her armor is dumb. I don't understand that. It's not.
She looks
So
awesome, but her armor is like the worst.
the helmet
They did
is
her
terrible. It
dirty.
looks like she had a
She's Hey
bad
Arnold in
stint
there.
on the what is the magic train, the dungeon train.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That she just got off the dungeon train with some bad loot.
right. Yeah,
Um,
no, totally.
but I don't know. I think because we saw all of Huntress Wizard's body parts go into obviously the only thing we know about in this, well, I know we haven't watched the next two episodes that are already out right now, is we see little branches of green going out on each multiverse. That I think her hands and her feet went to different places in the multiverse. I don't know if that means that she's all over the place in Fiona and Cake world, or she's all over the place in other multiversal worlds. I don't
Right.
know. But
I don't know, man.
but
I
I
think
do
it
think
just
that
happened and she
she
chose one.
maybe that's true. I guess she could have like picked
Like,
one and those other seeds will die or just
right.
be normal
Here are all the
plants or
seeds you could go
something.
to. I mean, you saw her struggle just
Yeah.
to live right now.
Yeah, that she had
Those
to
seeds
pick
probably
one.
sprouted and died in
But
theory.
it somehow makes me think that she's going to play a bigger role in like in Prismo's like world of like now you
Hmm.
are like a multiversal, guardian traveler or
Oh,
something
maybe.
like that. So, and that means that she wouldn't be with Finn, even though
Well,
that's really
something's
what I
wrong with
want.
Prismo, right? I mean, Prismo's definitely
Yes,
got some
that was
issues
the
happening.
other thing I definitely wanted to address in this one and get your thoughts on.
Yeah,
Because you just did a full rewatch of the show. I did of season one, excuse me,
right.
and I did a quick recap and kind of forgot that Prismo had been glitching. And he obviously glitches like right after the croak dream or whatever. But there was the glitch with Hunter that flashed to like
Was it
dying
though?
Simon's face.
Yeah. It was the Winter
And
King, right? It was the Winter King from the first season where he dies after Fiona kisses him, and then he kind of shrivels up because she's not supposed to be there, and I think that like messes with his world and causes
yeah.
him to turn into ash or
Oh, okay,
whatever.
okay.
So it's because I had the same issue. I'm like, either we're seeing two different moments, and somehow Hunter is being affected by this, and Hunter's glitching out, and we also see Prismo glitching out, and those are connected in some form or fashion. Or it's simply two separate things, and we need to try and separate them in our minds. Where we saw Prismo glitch out, but then what we saw with Hunter was Fiona's guilt, maybe of about to kiss somebody or just kiss somebody, and then she saw
Yeah.
the Winter King die in her arms. So it's kind of,
I don't
I
think
don't
they would
know.
have done it twice in the same up. I think the guilt, yes, is probably some of that.
But
That
see, is it in Fiona's head or is it truly happening? I guess is the
I
question.
think it truly happened. I don't think it's just
But
in
there's
her
no
head.
connection there.
I think the connection is that this universe is created by Prismo, and that because this is a byproduct of a Prismo creation, that it can still be affected by what's happening in Prismo's time room
Okay.
or
Hmm.
with Prismo or what. Like, does Fiona's universe cease to exist if Prismo cease to exist? I don't know, but I feel
Right.
like that
But Prismo
ties.
didn't write, he didn't do or create the Winter King. That was just a separate world entirely that they
Right, but
visited.
it could be glitching and based on like because now Fiona's been to multiple
Right.
multiverses
She's
that
been there
it's
before.
like now she's got like this crazy weird multiversal crossover. So even a
Maybe.
glitch in her universe can pull things back from that universe. Maybe that's how the Lich comes back. Maybe that's how like
Hmm.
Gold Betty comes into. I don't know.
I think
Like
that negates the whole point of last season, which was she's part of the multiverse now, so her world is stable. I don't think Hunter's glitching because I think that messes with what they established from the first season. I think
yeah,
truly what it is her about to kiss somebody. Last time she kissed somebody, they died. And so she's like scarred from that or
yeah.
something. So
It just
she's seeing it happen
I
and
want
she's
to
drunk,
know. I want
you
to know
know?
what it means though, because it was the same glitch noise, and so I don't know if they're
Hmm.
just drawing a parallel to like Prismo and Fiona being similar or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
On like glitching and seeing something weird. If
Yeah, I
it
don't
may
know.
not mean anything, it may just like I said, it may be something of just like yeah, you remember when Fiona kissed the Winter King, and that could be the end of the whole like
Right.
world glitch thing. I have no idea, but I don't know. I don't think if we
Yeah.
were watching season one and predicted that the show was going to end with Scarab
I
becoming
know.
a
Who
bunch of like
knows?
mega bugs that were
Right.
going to attack the city, like we would have never in a million years guessed that. So
Who
like,
knows where
I
it's
think we
gonna
should put
go?
that one to rest and just be like, let's look out for that if
Hmm.
it happens some more. So
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to keep happening with Prismo because it happens a couple of times, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. I think you did touch something, and we don't need to spend much time on this because this is like an end of episode thought. But I do kind of think the Lich is going to be a part of this
yeah,
season.
something about if we're not going gold and there
Hmm.
needs to be a big bad.
They're in
All
the
we know is
multiverse now, right?
yeah.
The Lich is a part of every world in the multiverse. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Fiona. Like the good and the bad, which I think is something that happens with Scarab. Said that to Fiona in like the last episode, maybe. When you join the multiverse, not everything's going to be good about that, and
Yeah.
maybe the Lich is part of the bad of that
and
happening.
and some of it you haven't gotten to the episode yet in Adventure Time, the show. I think it is in season 6 that would be one very particular moment where you could be that it does happen in the Adventure Time where you're like, oh, the Lich can be everywhere. Like,
Hmm.
so it's that's why I was like, we'll get a big bad. I outside of just Queenie, I'm sure. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's what was it? Whose boss was it last time? It was Prismo's boss's boss.
Hmm.
Also, that we didn't figure out who it was.
Yeah, the boss of the orb or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really do want to know. I'm still predicting that Queenie's going to turn magical at some point. Like I still think our theory about the bush that was or the rose
Like
bush being
leaking magic
introduced. Oh
back
yeah,
into their universe, and it like
I think so.
some things become magical. That's why we think that Imkron is going to
Imcrom
end up being magical, like and turn into an animal, and like
has
Queenie is going to
to. He's got a
be
harness on. He had a
Queen of
harness
Ooh.
on,
Yeah, he did have a harness on. I was like, we're going full horse here, people. Like we're going.
dude. I don't know, man. Here's okay. I had more thoughts about this. I didn't want to revisit this, but um, we had Finn being dead and them trying to revive him with a kiss. And I know we talked about how the Adventure Mind of Ooh world or universe is like more magical, obviously, and there's more things going on and kind of anything goes. And it was like post apocalyptic. But you have a hot dog kissing Finn. You have in the past
Crab princess. Yeah,
crap, yeah, bubblegum, breakfast princess, Flame has kissed him.
you've never
There,
made out with egg on toast before. Come on
well,
now,
yeah, pretty good kiss.
pretty good.
But the fact that Mcrom and or Kron and Cake are an item or attempting to be an item in the real world, like in a way, it's not weird for this show, but at the same time, it still irks me a little bit. It's still a little
It's
odd.
because there's no other magic in the world. That's it. There's no other
It's because she
like
was a cat. It's because she was a cat that couldn't speak,
yeah,
and she was just an animal for most of
yeah.
the
She
entire
was.
time that they knew each other.
And well, and yeah, she was eliminated of magic, and then got magic back, and she didn't go back to
Right.
cat form. So
But
something's gonna
it's
happen.
Adventure Time.
Something's gonna happen. I do think that yeah, that whatever Huntress Wizard does, she's gonna be like, how do I? Because now her mentality, we know her vision is explained in this episode. How do I get back to my world?
Hmm.
Then I think she's gonna meet Fiona. Fiona's gonna meet. She's gonna be like, you remind me of Finn so much, and she'll be like, oh, here's Baby World Finn. Oh, you're multi. Like they're gonna have a multiversal moment together,
Hmm.
and then she's gonna be like, I gotta get back to my world. My Finn is dying. All this stuff. I'm Hunter, and she. Who knows? They might be like, oh, I know a friend named Hunter, and he's just like you with green eyes, and
Right.
she's
Well,
like,
she knows about Simon. She'll probably ask about Simon, and Simon will connect the
yeah,
dots for them or something.
oh yeah. I forget that Simon has to probably play a pretty big role in saving them or
Hmm.
getting
Well,
Huntress Wizard back.
he's with
Essentially,
Princess Bubblegum and Marcy, and also a little odd for Princess Bubblegum and Marcy to have like a weed. Spoilers, I guess they do it. We know they do it now.
yeah.
But
Spoiler drop.
like obviously you knew that was coming, but they definitely wrote that. I will say my one qualm with that is it feels a little. The moment's good, and I like it for the show, but the writers, how it's written, feels a little forced. They're like,
Yes, I know what
a
you
kiss
mean.
can't bring someone back to from the brink of death, and then Marcy's like, "That's not what you told me last night." I just it feels forced in a way, uh, but I don't know
It
how you
was like
make
a
it better. I like the
forced.
moment,
It was more of a forced acknowledgement that they are like not just hanging out, that they are like in a relationship.
right? Yeah.
And it was like, oh, if you guys just forgot, they're not just like hanging around each other and best friends.
Hmm.
Like they are, you know.
Yeah, but like right, I guess what I was getting to even was just like right in front of Simon. Like, come on, you don't make jokes like that in front of your parents.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. And Simon's probably over it. I don't know.
Right,
She had to watch him for
he lives with
however
them.
many hundreds of years try to kidnap princesses and be
That's
super creepy.
hey,
So
that's
return the
a
favor,
dang
I
good point.
guess.
That's a good point. Yeah, this episode had just a lot of relationship stuff. I mean, man, as we're talking about it, like Flame Princess's moment was really sincere. Will she matter? She says, "I really did love you," and has that kiss. What we saw, I was thinking of it from the context of like, or the perspective of someone who watched the show originally when it came out, and these were coming out, once a week, and their relationship isn't every single episode. It's we'll skip many episodes and then
Mm,
revisit. They're still dating. Many episodes, they're still dating. And in the life of a fan, like that's like 2 years or something. And so it does feel like, oh, they dated for a long time, 6 months or whatever. So her saying, "I really did love you," feels really really sincere and really deep, even though technically it was only like 6 months or whatever, or from the context of, or perspective of someone who's binge watching the show, which of course I'm watching it for the first time. And it's taken me 3 weeks to get through 5 seasons, or 3 years to get through 5 seasons or whatever I'm not doing. But if you were binge watching, I don't think that moment would hit quite as hard. I feel a
yeah,
little jealous for all of you that watched this at 14 or 15 and got to see this moment where Flame Princess goes and kisses Finn to try and revive him, and it resembles the moment from Burning Low, and it feels so sincere, and you see her get hot or whatever, and it's such a cool moment, and I kind of didn't get to have that feeling, that nostalgic oh my gosh moment, but
yeah. It
that
was
was cool.
nostalgic
That was
because it
cool.
happened in 2.5 years ago on the podcast
I
itself.
know, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only nostalgia you get from that too.
But
But
I think nostalgia
yeah,
is so much stronger when
not
you're a
nostalgia
child.
from when like, oh, I was 14
Right.
whenever when Finn and yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't even get into the show until
That's true.
I was like 18, give or take too. So like,
Mhm.
um, it's more like seeing this kind of stuff of like, wow, it surprising. And I can't even remember if we maybe mentioned it in our podcasts from last season of like, we didn't get any Flame Princess in any universe. I don't
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Um, this is definitely like her reintroduction back to the show in a very dramatic fashion. So that's why I was like, I don't know what role it will play, but something with the Dream Warrior, I'll say theoretically speaking,
Theoretically speaking.
is that Flame Princess or DJ Flame or the combination of both, they will be a pivotal key character to getting Huntress Wizard home, saving Finn, um, defeating Queenie, and then fixing whatever the big bad is, which maybe it's Peanut, maybe it's Scarab again, maybe
Mhm.
it's Prisoner's boss. We've got a lot of good
Right,
leads
yeah.
on big bads that could be in this season.
So you're thinking we might have the redemption of DJ Flame. Can he
Yeah,
in the eyes of the fans, in our
I
eyes,
think
come
that there's
back?
going to be redemption in DJ Flame. Absolutely, I think that there will be a. I was trying to make you jealous. I picked a girl that looked just like you for obvious reasons,
Same clothes, different
and we
colors.
don't know why or necessarily don't unless I am forgetting about something. We don't specifically know why or how or what the drama was behind their breakup, right?
Yeah, he just dumps her over a text, like saying we're
Yeah,
done or something,
so what if he was like, I
or
wasn't
it's over.
intending to break up with you. I was like mad at you, or hey, you hurt my feelings. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, and he's like, yeah, I was as hurt as you're acting as like I ended this all and you're hurt. And he's like, what if he's like, you hurt me too? And so I
Yeah.
was trying to hurt you back with
Oh, yeah. Way more
dating Fennel
context.
or whatever. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of context because
It's a really good point. They dated 6 months. We only have her perspective, and not even that. We have literally the text message.
yeah, that's it. That's it. So
So,
I'm like, I think something probably is going to be. I mean, so much of last season too was Fiona gaining so much like self
mhm.
awareness and perspective about a bigger universe and herself and what does responsibility mean. Like when she
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, I wish started this season off with, oh, if you had just worked like that when you were before you saved the world, like we wouldn't have had any problems." I think this is Fiona's season of like self awareness as it comes to
sure.
relationships because obviously there's something that happened with Flame that we don't know about. And she's a get drunk and try to go make out with Hunter kind of person. And I think that she's going to be like, I
Mm.
don't need to be that way. I need to understand what falling in love with somebody actually means.
Well, she was at a really deep low, and unfortunately, we kind of see that when she's crying into the plant, and it does save Huntress Wizard, which is great. But She says, "I saved the world and I'm still a loser," as she's like
Hmm.
crying, and she's like, "I can't even save this planet or whatever." And she's just having a really sincere moment. I've talked about how I feel like this is very internal. The theme is internal for Fiona this season, and it may not
Hmm.
always be. But that's kind of what I'm gathering.
That's
Even
what
in
I'm
this
gathering
episode, we're
too.
three for
Yeah.
three, and you just said this as well. But I do think it's really a fascinating thought. This kind of gets deeper in my mind. So the idea is that she triumphed over like the craziest things you could think of. She saved the world and her perspective and everyone's perspective. And from what we saw in the first season, though she's not like Superman, but through, like whatever the events that occurred, she helped save the world. So she triumphs over this crazy hardship. But in doing so, it doesn't necessarily mean that like in the future hardships, no matter how like lesser of a degree that they are, it doesn't mean that they're going to feel any easier. This is like
Hmm.
a personal, oh, I'm like letting people down. Oh, my relationships aren't going well. Like I'm messing things up with Hunter and messing things up with DJ Flame, and she's like all internally like being really really hard on herself. But this kind of like, and we've talked about this in the past, so like I guess this is a jump scare in a way to my personal battle with cancer, just a little bit, where it's like that was like such a hard moment for me in my life, and such a hard season, like physically and mentally. Not to compare to saving the world, but certainly like my own personal saving in a way, through so many people that
Hmm.
helped me and all that. But regardless, I did gain some perspective, which I think that's gonna happen when you have any sort of a run-in with death. Um, but it's been 14, 15 years, and all these years later, like there's still the highs and lows of life, and like words. If you said something mean to me, I would still like really hurt, from that. Or if I have a paper cut, like it still hurts as much and still sucks as much as a paper
Yeah,
cut
yeah. That
sucks.
that your the
I feel
hardest
for her.
thing or your biggest accomplishment is still not a defining moment that defines everything else in your
Right.
life. It helps you gain a piece of perspective and knowledge about yourself. But yeah, like just because you run, ran a half marathon one time doesn't mean that every half marathon you run is going to be super easy the next time.
Yeah, and hopefully
Or that the
she
next 3 mile run that you do is not going to be hard.
right.
That's
True.
what you're getting at too, is that just because she saves the world, you know, I get where she's at in terms of just like
Yeah.
why are things not falling to in place a little bit more after
Yeah, she
like
feels
I
lost.
technically like made the decision to for this world to not have magic in it, and now is like, and she's probably regretting that decision a little bit, but it's all based on I can't find a man, or or I'm really emotional about DJ Flame, and I know Fiona's way deeper of a character than that. And I think we're gonna have to go back to she's got Cake, she's got Marshall Lee, she's got um I keep wanting to say PB, but Peppermint
Gary.
Pep, Gary. Gosh, yeah, Gary's hard to remember off of Princess Bubblegum and
Yeah.
Puebles is what Finn calls her.
Right. No, I
Um,
I feel that. I
yeah.
mean, I think she's gonna have to kind of find that perspective, which is
Hmm.
kind of what I do. I feel like I'm a pretty chill person. I think a part of that is because I go like, oh, this isn't the biggest thing, and I can get through this. Like I've done worse, I've done more, and even in those moments where like you are doing something the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, like for me at least, and I think for Fiona in the moment, like you don't really have a choice. You just gotta fight. You just gotta go. And so, like in the craziest moments, sometimes it's kind of easy to be like brave or whatever because you have no choice but to be. Or
Hmm.
I mean, the alternative is giving up, and that's, and in my opinion, not a choice.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like it's totally okay to feel like what you're going through, even to the lesser degree, is really difficult and really heartbreaking because like we're all human, and like every moment
Hmm.
is going to be difficult or great or whatever, to whatever, like somehow our brains like don't separate that out, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have the perspective to like put it into
Hmm.
perspective. You have to
Yeah.
be able to
Well,
do that yourself.
and all that lead, and so I mean that I love that because that leads back to your what brought up the topic too, and your
Hmm.
thought around. I think this season's going to be a lot more around relationships and gaining emotional maturity through hard times. I think we will have some magical fights and some big bads, but I don't think that it's going to be about what she gained in perspective the first season, which was like um, not being selfish about magic, about her relationship with Cake and everything like that
Hmm.
happened in season one, and that through whatever craziness goes on in this season, it's going to be reflective on DJ Flame was, and again, early to say, but DJ Flame was, maybe he was just a crush that was not a good fit for her, and Hunter is a really good fit for her. Like, what does it mean to actually love somebody? What does it mean for her to love somebody, not just be loved by somebody?
Right.
And that's where I think that we're going to gain some more of like what happened in the breakup with them. Like, was she ever a good girlfriend? We don't know that. Like,
Hmm. Yeah, we'll
so I don't
see
know. I
now.
don't know. We're gonna gain. I think it's gonna be a good relationship style season, which everybody loves that in Adventure Time. Like you said, it just kind of like once we go, and then again, I want to see Finn and Huntress Wizard like hold hands so bad. I just want to see them together, like being a couple. Like that's
Yeah.
what I want. So
Well, Finn's got to get over whatever he's got going on. I love seeing the diagnosis where Princess Bubblegum eats the
he
receipt
just pulls it
and then
off and
has the
eats the paper.
information. But she uses her whatever her pink liquid is in order to see how his cells react to it, and they fight it off. She says that he's poisoned. It's killing him, but it's also like keeping him alive for some reason. And I think it's because we've talked about this in the past. Like
Mm,
he's connected now to the heart of the
the
forest in
forest,
some
yeah.
form. So like I think that's just naturally what's going on and why he's staying alive because of it. It is weird that it's poisoning him and not just taking over his body. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to
We'll
see what
find
it
out.
we'll have to see what it means. Is he going to turn into the new giant stag that was in the forest that,
Mm,
Hunter's Wizard blew up? Is he
which
going to
would
be?
be sacrificing Finn.
Yeah, it would be sacrificing Finn to some degree.
Well, that's kind of what I
I
meant
just
in a
want more
way.
Finn in the show. Like
Well,
if we're gonna go for a season three, if we're gonna get approved for a season three, I don't really want Finn to just not be there. That would be a bummer.
yeah, I don't know. I would love to see what
And
characters
we
they
still
would
have, hey,
focus
we still
on.
have Farm World Finn to looking out for us. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's the OG Finn in my heart. So I don't know. But again, listen to the last episode. We talk about what happens with Prismo and the Wish and all that, and why I kind of joked that he's the original Finn. Yeah, another unanswered question, which I guess we'll see next episode,
mhm.
is with them gathering the princesses and then Kyridian.
Yep.
Will this, like, will Prismo, in theory, granting them a wish, which is where I think we're going with this, will it work? Will he be able to do that? Is this a higher power issue that's at play, and so
Well,
therefore it won't work?
the big thing here too, you remember when the Lich opened up the first portal to get into the time room, he used the jewels from all the princesses' crowns,
Hmm.
put them in the Enchiridion, and opened up the portal to
Yep,
the time
that's what I'm
room.
saying.
So PB might know this now because yeah, he did that on like the lawn of the Candy
Yeah, she
Kingdom.
was there.
So yeah, she was there. So
She saw it.
maybe she's gonna go full on Universal and say, I'm gonna go send somebody to the time room to make a time wish
No,
for Finn.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make this wish. I just don't think it's
Oh,
going
okay.
to work.
I tied that together right now. I didn't know you
Oh,
were just saying, um,
yeah, that's what I was
they're
saying.
gonna go multiversal, and I was like, oh,
No, no,
so you're saying
no.
like she's gonna go to the time room and make a
Yeah,
wish.
and I was saying that Prismo won't be able to grant the wish because of the higher powers at play.
You're right. Oh yeah, but that whatever the higher power at play here, that Huntress Wizard and the goo on his back means he can't be affected because he's already tied with multiple universe.
Yes.
Too much going on. Too much going on. We'll stop there
That
tonight
was
because
like
I
that you're tying in as I was talking. You were like putting it
I'm like
together.
tying it all
I
in.
could
Yeah,
see it in
that's
your eyes. You were like
oh
you were
man, I
listening,
was
but you were
like,
like, wait a second, I have an idea.
yep,
And it was the
yep.
same. We're on the same wavelength.
It was coming. Yeah, what you just said. That's why we talk about it because like you pulled me onto that wavelength now.
It's
So
good. That's
I
good,
love
bud.
it.
I
I
love
love
it.
it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop there because we're at
Yeah.
50 minutes and we're just gonna all of our theories are gonna be negated when we watch the next two
I
episodes.
know.
So,
It's so true.
how many fun lessons from this episode, Russell?
Not a fun lesson. I'm pretty good at fun lessons. This time I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like, I think my lesson for me and for Fiona is that we need to stop being so hard on ourselves. And it's something that I'm working on learning. But I know I'm pretty hard on myself, and I think Fiona needs to be a little more chill when she's in her own head.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Mine was the fun one this week too.
Oh, nice.
Came out of my tops. My tops was the banana cards when the princesses started fighting. He says, "This is exciting," and I said, "There's nothing more exciting than a chick fight." Is the lesson from this
Oh,
week.
no.
So
Canceling that again.
cancel me again. But that's a lesson not by me, by the banana guards themselves in this
Hmm.
episode.
Yes.
But yes,
That's
I
good.
didn't have any. You got me. You get me on some more deeper thought trains, which is good. And sometimes I get you on them too. But
Oh no, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, we balance each other out. We're you're my Marceline to my you're the Marceline to my Princess
this
Bubblegum,
is
I
your Princess
guess.
Bubblegum. Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah. DJ Princess
because he
Bubblegum.
kisses me at night.
Right,
You know,
yes. Except for the
saves
fact
my
that
life.
we're both married and also we're just good friends. Or best friends or whatever. But
Good
I
best
don't want to
friends.
put labels on it. Y'all, thank you so much.
No, we're best friends, Russell. We can say that.
Yay. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us. Patreon.com/Neverending Adventure Podcast if you want to support us. Instagram, Neverending Adventure Podcast, TikTok, or Neverending Adventure Cast, Twitter, NEA_podcast. Email us your thoughts, your opinions, get on the Traveler's Log at NEA.travelersLog.com. I'll say we're not really doing two of those things much right now. The Traveler's Log is taking a little bit of a break because these episodes are so big and there's just so much to unpack, and the unless we have thoughts from
From
like travelers
Discord.
on the Discord,
Yeah.
which I think we do need to address one, so maybe next episode we will. But at this, it's like when you get into these episodes, it almost becomes too late after the first after you talk about the episode, because then we have all these reveals.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if you could, as I'm talking, and go find it, that'd be dope. Um, I would say with Patreon, we have a separate podcast, NEA and Beyond, which is just us talking about many things. Sometimes it's Adventure Time, sometimes it's Star Wars, sometimes it's Simon and Garfunkel, which will be coming out in a couple of weeks, or probably like a couple of weeks, um, likely after we do all this, because we're focusing on this right now, trying to get this out weekly.
Yeah, we're trying to do this one as fast as
Right.
possible. We're wrapping season 5 after this is all released.
And then we'll get back to NEA and then also doing nabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ned, do you have the Traveler's Log? Did you find it in the
Yeah,
Discord?
it's DJ. I think I can't remember her DJ name, but DJ. I'm gonna call her DJ Crystal, DJ Critical, maybe.
Okay. Yeah,
Trying
get
to
on the
remember her
mic
DJ
though,
name.
please.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm off the mic here. Just listen to the new podcast episode. So many random thoughts, not all or any of them deep. Here goes. Fiona is so incredibly relatable because I don't know what APR is or escrow, and I'm constantly stressed about anything finance related. Also, spoilers for episode 3. If I saw my ex Frenching some random girl that looked exactly like me, I'd also go batshit crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
glad we addressed that in the episode of like that was a douchebag move to do
Yeah.
regardless. She said Ned called Hunter lame, and I was so taken aback because I love Hunter, but then I was with you when you theorized an awesome
Cancel Ned.
Sapphic
Cancel
love
Ned.
with Huntress Wizard and Fiona. I died laughing. Next, I noticed a parallel between Huntress Wizard's body parts being thrown into the multiverse and the Lich's hand. Sorry, Russell, that is the spoiler from what I was talking about.
Okay.
It's kind of spoiling. It's just so out of context. You probably have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I won't remember that.
I think that's a spoiler too, but I won't say anymore. That's exactly what she says. She says a theory that the heart of the forest stag/elk thing was never meant to be imprisoned. I think that the ancient green wizards kept it for their own gain, and that knowledge got lost over time with the current wizards protecting it because they were told to, like Ned mentioned.
100% agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They wouldn't have had a moment where it was chained to the ground specifically, and the fact that we hated all the like they were like or whoever the bear wizard was
Can't
just an
remember her name.
asshole.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I mean, I do think there are other ways to look at that, but I agree with that being the canon theory in our heads right now, or house canon at the moment.
Yeah, but she says, I think maybe its release will lead to radical positive change as it becomes free, or did it die? It's unclear. That's what I'm trying to figure out is did we kill the heart of the forest or not? And the world will revert back to how it's supposed to be. I'm thinking it's similar to how in Legend of Korra, when she opened up the spirit portals to bring balance, the world went back to how it should be. Could be totally wrong. I was also under the impression that Farm World Finn's late wife was the world's hunter was that world's huntress wizard
Right.
because of the hunter stew hinting at it in the children's green eye. So if he sees her again, I was thinking it might be more sad and he would recognize his late wife in
Oh,
her. I wonder if all of this will lead to Huntress Wizard to understand her connection to Finn more as she goes across the multiverse. Maybe this is how she realizes that they're destined and to stop being on and off again because knowing Finn, I doubt he's the one breaking it off each time. He's such a lover boy.
oh
So
man, good
yeah,
thoughts.
I do. I think I love that thought of her seeing her connection with Finn, and learning about Fiona and Hunter and watching their love, thrive through
Hmm.
what we hope is thriving through the season, and seeing Farm World Finn and being like, yeah, like this is multiversal destiny that I'm supposed to be with them.
Interesting. Yeah, I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I also think, I mean, if the elk is still alive or the heart of the forest is still alive, it being free, might revitalize the forest and all that stuff, and be really cool to see what that looks like. Um, but I don't know. I mean, unless something happens at the moment, I'm pretty sure it died. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
it
we're gonna fix that.
imploded into a multiversal astral plane black hole in the roots that were connected in whatever Prismo's green thing on his display. That's what it
Right.
black holed into. And there's not one. And the wizards lose all their powers. So essentially, I think it's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll see, man. I mean, I think they're gonna have to find a replacement, Finn.
yeah.
But yeah.
If you're right about that, man, like everybody Venmo Russell $5 if he's right about that. So
Hell yeah. I'll
that's the
have
bet.
$10.
I'll have $10.
Ned, what's your rec for this week? Do you have a rec real quick?
Yeah, my rec might have been one back from 2023, but I picked up Hogwarts Legacy again, the video game, and it's just great, man.
Okay.
I was playing Hollow Knight, which I also will rec, but golly, it was taking years off my life for the
Yeah.
stress levels that it brought me. And my brother-in-law came over and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been playing the second game. Never played the first game. It's super hard." And I was like, "Yeah, it is taking years off my life." So I needed a game that you get on a broom and you go find trinkets, and like it is a trinket finding game, and
That's
I
fair.
freaking love it. So
That's
it's
good, man.
way more chillaxed vibe for sure.
I've been wanting to look into that. I think Allie would really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the fighting mechanics are really easy for somebody who's not like ready for an Elden Ring or Hollow Knight level technicality with a game.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
and yeah, it's way more approachable.
My rec this week is also video game related because I was just traveling. The Miu Mini Plus, which is what I have, which you talked about the other day, thinking about maybe picking one up. I would say like an alternative, just download. I think it's the Delta emulator or whatever
Delta
that's
emulator.
legal now on your phone.
Hmm.
Just download that and get some ROMs. But I like the Miu Mini Plus. It feels like you're playing like the OG Game Boy, but it's kind of smaller and it has a bunch of
Oh
games
yeah,
preloaded on it. It's
I
fun.
played the Delta emulator, and it doesn't scratch the itch because it just feels like you're staring at your phone
Right.
still. You know.
And I was gonna say, I like that it's something separate from my phone so that I could grab it and like play it. And I'm not like
You're
tempted to
you're
scroll or
you're
anything. I'm just,
disconnecting.
yeah,
You're not diving deeper into the phone life. You're
right.
disconnecting for a little bit to go play a video game. Yeah.
But it really saved me on one of my flights where I was like having a little bit of like flight anxiety. And I was just like, oh, I need to distract myself. And man, playing some Super Mario World really helped with that. I think I
Yeah.
crushed like 20 or so levels on my flight. It was
That's
sick.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a long flight too. So
Right. Well, y'all, thank you for joining us. This was a good episode. I'm really excited to see where they're going with this. I don't think this episode, like, it's not like it was as good for me as the first two episodes, but at the
mhm.
same time, I felt like it was an essential transition to what's
Y-
happening next with a whole
yeah.
bunch of relationship stuff thrown in. And I didn't even mention this fan service. So much fan service, Ned.
Hmm.
OG Fiona and Cake style opening, Flame Princess and Finn kissing with a callback to the Burning Low, the moment Fiona's world lost its magic, Camille Nanjiani coming back as Prismo, the Croat Dream, Princess Bubblegum and Marcy do it, obviously, and then sweaty DJ Flame. So much fan service in this episode.
Yeah.
Just everything the fans want,
Yeah.
all
It's
at
everything the
once.
fans want, and I feel more comfortable in episode 3 of
Hmm.
this one than I did in episode 3 of season 1. I just still by episode 3, I was
Okay.
like, the heck is going on? Like, too much is going
Yeah.
well, now we're in a different world, and now we're in a different world, and now Cake has a
I
voice
liked
box, and
I
now Cake
liked
is
the
magical.
one-off nature of it all, though. That was kind
Um,
of fun.
it was fun. It just was just like every week I was like, we can't even talk like week to week about this because they might just be in airplane world tomorrow and everybody turns into airplanes, and like you're like it was like too chaotic in that way. I think that there's less
Yeah.
chaos in this season, even though there's more callbacks, so I
Will
kind of
Will
like
Baby
that.
Finn always be a baby?
I think Baby World Finn is always going to be a baby.
Ooh.
That's why it's
Okay.
Baby World.
Hmm.
So
Sorry, Pep
they're going to
Tank.
have to figure out who's going to be the maternal or paternal figure now that Martin's gone, and maybe we get another Martin somewhere
I
too.
think it's
I don't
Pep
know.
Tank. I think Pep Tank somehow got volunteered for that role.
But Pep Tank's sharing it. I think we need a new loving Martin
Hmm.
to come back out of somewhere, which
Okay.
would be really sweet. I think.
Yeah, that'd be great. Baby Martin, maybe.
Baby, no, they're probably not Baby Martin. We need manly Martin to come. Farm World Martin.
Cool. All right, man. Well, it was good talking with you. We'll see y'all very soon for episode 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be real nice. Oh, love you guys.
Party forever.